It doesn't work for me, so I'll just go the old way.
Okay. Yeah, it's being transcribed for AI Companion, and so we'll get a complete transcript too.
Wow.
Yeah, it also takes it and goes through. I haven't seen it do it yet, but it should spit out what it thinks are accurate minutes, and we'll have to see.
So are we ready to go?
I think so.
Phil's not in. Oh, Phil's in. Okay, Phil's in.
Just not Tanya yet.
Yeah, I'm here.
So I see Phil, Rebecca, Jay,
Okay, there's Tanya, I think.
Nancy, us, and
Yep,
Tanya.
Tanya
Okay.
just
Okay.
entered.
So we have a quorum, and we apologize for the technical hiccup, but now.
Hi, everyone.
First, I'll call the meeting order.
It's 6:10.
Any suggestions to amend the agenda, or can you stand as submitted? Do I have to? No. So the agenda as approved, is adopted. Approval of the May 24 minutes, which are now in the agenda, in the file. I hope you will have.
Where's the microphone?
It was fine to me. So we could have a motion to approve the minutes.
I think it's buried and it needs to be brought out.
Or is it this?
Yeah, that's it. That needs to be brought
Yeah.
out.
We're not hearing Stu very well.
Is that better?
Okay.
Closer to Stu.
They need you to
Just pull that closer.
Not much.
There we are.
Lose.
It's more important that we hear than see.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
Better.
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't say anything important up to this point. But we're up to, so can we have a motion in a second?
I move
the May
through the
minutes?
minutes.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
stand. Communications from the public. Our man Tony C is with us and wishes to make a brief presentation about some of the Commonwealth has going on.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm here making a request, and I know it's kind of strange and difficult also, request maybe. But the 2024 Commonwealth Golf Open is happening this July 21st. And I'm here to ask and see if WRT would be a whole sponsor for the event. The money goes to Commonwealth Development Corporation. And that's, we have several different levels. Of course, I know that WORT can't afford the 2,000 or the 1,000, but maybe the $400 one. And I also understand that this is an unusual request because WORT, according to historians, has never given money to anything straight out, mostly in kind. Last year, WRT did sponsor one of the holes, but it was an in kind the donation because you guys were running a piece when we were trying to recruit people to take part in it, and also looking for other hole sponsors. We did not. We're not asking for that this time. So that's it. And I can understand if you can't do it and that it might open up the floodgates for everything else and everybody else coming and ask you for money too. So I totally understand that. If WRT maybe might then just want to give out some of your premium that you got laying around as whole prizes, that's also a cool thing. That's it. Yeah, swag will, whatever. But the swag would not get you a whole sign. It would just get you mentioned in our program or whatever. But we appreciate it. And thank you very much. I just happened to be here actually working on my show when I realized there was a meeting. So I seized on the opportunity. Thank you very much.
And Tony, give us the date again on.
It's a Sunday, July 21st is the event. It's being sponsored by the Muska Lounge Bar for the first time. For many years, close to 30 years, it was the Harmony Bar golf outing. And this year it's the Muska Lounge golf outing to benefit Commonwealth Development Corporation. Of course, hopefully most of you know the good work that Commonwealth Development does in the community. If you don't, I could maybe answer some questions. Stu probably knows more than I do.
I know, but no, I think you probably know more, but it's no, I mean,
was on their
everyone loves
board.
Commonwealth.
Dean was on their board too, so.
Everyone loves Commonwealth. I think of it as the Madison Development Corporation of the East Side.
And we are
Yep.
benefiting charity of Commonwealth. We're a
Yeah.
member of Commonwealth.
Tony,
It's
I
like
got it.
giving to
Or no,
ourselves.
Commonwealth Development, that's different. I'm thinking community
Yeah,
shares.
right.
I mixed them up,
Yeah.
There you go.
but we do work with them on several
The event's the
projects.
21st. of
Sunday,
July.
July 21st.
Okay, as a practical matter, when do you need an answer by?
Well, it would be good to get it at least, well, we kind of put a deadline on the 17th of July. But, so,
Okay, let us talk to Doug and Adrian and, I mean, I think we'll do something. We got to figure out exactly what.
cool, really cool.
And we've got a board meeting on the 17th. If you need it before that, we can have an executive committee meeting.
I think we said on the 15th of Monday, so 17th is on Wednesday, yeah, sorry, yeah, the 15th of July, yeah.
But yeah, let us have staff look at it and figure out exactly what we can do. Doug, does that seem reasonable to you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody got any other thoughts on it?
That's the way to go.
Thanks for
Okay.
coming in, Tony.
Okay, thank you for
And
letting me
let
come
me
in.
just say, is it okay for the board if, I mean, I assume that the board will be okay with the executive committee authorizing 400 after a further review, if that's, if we need to act prior to the next board meeting?
If we go that
Yes.
way, it's not a problem.
Okay, so let us take a look
Okay.
at it and we will get back to you.
All right, thank you very much, everybody.
Have a
Yeah,
good-
keep up the good work.
Have a
You
good
do your
one,
board
Mark.
I'll try and do mine. I'm doing board training next Monday.
Ooh,
Sweet, sweet.
we
Thank
could
you.
use
You
some
can-
of that.
What? Board training? Oh, keep
Oh,
it
no,
as a-
I meant the sound.
Thank you.
boards.
All right, thanks.
Oh, that
Yeah,
kind of
that's
board.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
I took
then.
notes for staff too.
Okay. Okay. My report. This is the last meeting of this board. And I think it's been a pretty good year. I think we accomplished some good stuff. I think the evaluation process was a major accomplishment. The volunteer handbook is coming along. It's getting close. It'll be done before by the end of the next board. We tried. We didn't quite come through on the mural, but I think that is now that we've got an understanding of what that project is going to entail, I think we can really get on top of it and make it happen in a timely and efficient and productive manner in 2025 and have it be one of the signal events of that anniversary year. I look back at our finances over the last couple of years, and we're substantially above where we were 2 years ago, where about $50,000-$60,000 below our high, we're $50,000-$60,000 above our low. So I think financially we're in good shape. I think board staff relations, I think the way that final meeting turned out, was it 2 meetings ago to deal with the bylaws, was a really good evening. I thought that left the board staff relations in a really positive place. And I want to again thank Doug for all the work he did in making that happen, and also thank Susan, because there were some offline conversations with Susan that were necessary to bring some of the former board members along to sign off on the ultimate solution. So I just thought the way that we had a problem, we had a potential crisis, and we worked through it, and we got back on a mutual track that I thought really left us in a good place. So I want to again thank everyone's hard work on that. I have a suggested motion. I think that something we need to do. You all recall that Susan has been noting in her reports certain technological and demographic shifts that we need to get on top of, and I don't think we've fully done that yet. And I think a good thing for us to adopt tonight would be a motion creating something, a task force or a special work group, but something to look at those issues that I've identified as utilizing available and emerging technologies to expand the station's listenership, volunteer participation, community impact, and revenue streams. We could, if you want to put this off until new business at the end of the meeting, that's fine. If we want to talk about it now, that's fine too. But I think that this is something that we need to do to start getting on top of the changing media and demographic landscape that we need to deal with. Yeah, Dean.
I'm good with talking about it now.
Okay.
Same.
Anybody else?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's a
Sure.
problem there.
Okay. Okay. So that, I mean, the language, I'll read the language again because I thought it encompassed all the things I was looking at. And this is in the folder, and I also emailed it around. To recommend by June 2025 how WORT can best utilize available and emerging technologies to expand the station's listenership, volunteer participation, community impact, and revenue streams. Those to me seem to be the four functional things that we had to grow in order to grow and stay vital and vibrant ourselves. So that's the language that I came up with. Yeah, Dean.
I'm comfortable of accepting that as a motion, probably by starting the board of directors of WRT move establish
We'll just
what you
move
just said
move
there.
to create a task force, and then yeah,
board of directors move.
yeah, yeah.
And just add board of directors moves.
yeah.
And I'm comfortable in
Okay,
using that as a motion, and second, then we can have a
Okay, okay.
appropriate discussion.
okay. And in response to a point that I think Dean made, I don't think we need to determine tonight exactly the composition of that group. I think it should be a large group with volunteers and board and staff and outside people. I know some people think it should be a smaller working group. That's something that, you know, the new board can discuss. The matter of whether or not, obviously it's going to cost some money. And again, that should be something that the new board discusses in terms of coming up with a budget. But if this is something we could deal with tonight and announce at the annual meeting, I think that would be a nice little way to kick off
Generate
that
some
new
interest.
year.
I'll second. If
okay.
you're gonna move
I'm going to move it
that
so you
with
yeah.
saying board
Right,
of
right,
directors,
yeah.
and then I will second that.
Thank you. Further
Okay.
discussion. Dean.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
Clarify what I sent in response to this, I think it's a great idea. And some of the issues we will have to decide upon is what Steve was, or Stu was just mentioning, is the composition. Should we, do we have, should we put some budget into it? So we'll have, no, we can do that later.
I think that's for the new board, because they're the one that's,
Okay.
they're the one that's going to deal with it.
We moved this and you
I
seconded.
moved and he's, and
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I think all those operational and financial things are for the new board to define, because they're the ones that are going to be receiving the product. And
They'll
I
have the
think,
charge.
since we're the ones to whom the problem has been identified, Susan has really made this clear over several of her reports, and some other writings, that this is something we need to get on top of. So we're the ones who have been told about the problem, and now we're going to propose a solution. It'll be for the new board to operationalize and implement. That's how I see things happening. Further discussion?
No.
Anybody?
Right now, I got the language for this. Stu,
Good.
just for the minutes, I mean, Stu suggests a motion to create a task force to recommend by June 2025 how WRT can best utilize technology to benefit our future.
No, it's longer than that. It's,
Can you copy and paste? off this email?
I've got the language written. It's out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's best utilize available and emerging technologies to expand the station's listenership, volunteer participation, community impact, and revenue streams. Those to me are the four matrices that we need to keep ratcheting up.
Okay,
So, but I will email it.
yeah, we'll copy paste after the fact.
It's in your
Discussion.
email already.
Is it?
Yeah. Any further discussion?
No.
Anybody?
I think this is a great idea. This is enough time to get something done, and it'll be something that we can, it's nice about a task force is that we can bring in outside
Yeah.
it won't just be the board thinking about this, but really anyone that we think of that can help. So it's a good idea and enough time, I think.
Okay. Any further discussion? I can't, yeah.
Susan.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was struggling to get into the meeting, so I missed a part of this, and I just wanted to double check. Is this is this the what you're suggesting, Stu? Is it limited to technology, or just looking at all of the different ways to expand financial secure future stability and income?
What additional word? Give me a word that encompasses those aspects that you're talking about.
So I was just thinking of things like, that the Arts and Literature Center had turned themselves into more or less a community center, and that if we were looking at turning us into an audio center, that isn't really about technology. It's about changing what we are.
How about this? Utilize available and emerging technologies and strategies.
Excellent. Really like that.
Okay.
Did you even, were you
Yeah,
in
yeah,
enough?
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think she
yeah.
heard the whole thing.
Well, I've
She read it.
yeah, I've been discussing
Oh,
with
okay.
her. Yeah, so
All
yeah,
right.
so she's yeah. So that does that address your concern, Susan? If we say and strategies?
Totally addresses it.
Okay, great, thank you.
Nice.
Rebecca. Oh, was that just signaling a thumbs up? Okay.
Yeah,
So
I looked the strategies. That was all that was.
technologies and strategies. Okay, thank you for the suggestion, Susan.
Friendly amendment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was mine.
Yeah.
Okay, with that amended version before us, any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Okay, great. Thank you very much. I think this will give me something to say at the annual meeting. Okay, that's what I had. Oh, executive committee actions since the last meeting. We authorized Adrian to spend $600 on her former intern Roni because she got, as you will notice, I'm not sure if it's in her report or just an email to the executive committee, but she had an intern from SuccessWorks, and whereas Shali has been successful with an intern from SuccessWorks, and I think Sybil has too. The one that Adrian got totally leaked out and wasn't responsive and missed meetings and just totally flaked out. So the summer festival season being upon us, Adrian asked for money to rehire Roni, and given the amount of money and the hours, she said it works out to about $12.50 an hour. And obviously, Adrian needs help for the summer festival season.
Very
so
good investment.
it's a very good investment, and the executive committee authorized that. Executive committee also did some administrative things regarding just setting the time and the place of the annual meeting, which Doug then implemented. And we also, yes, that was the main business of the executive committee. Anything else that? I think that's it. Then we're up to the treasurer's report.
Okay.
Oh, let me just say one thing. So I want to say I was perfectly comfortable staying as vice president as long as Dave was on the board. I thought that I really liked that. But I appreciate the opportunity that the board gave me in being president for the past year. I hope I've done a good enough job, and I apologize for the times that I may have helped contribute to any tensions or difficulties, and I hope that I was able to resolve them adequately. And this is a real honor to serve as the board president. I want to thank everybody for their hard work in making this a successful year. So thank you for that.
You're here.
Treasurer's report.
Okay, we had our first really thorough meeting, our regular meeting, after a couple months of some technical glitches that needed to get fixed. Reviewing the financial statements, there was nothing notable to report on, but the cool thing we did was Mary Joy tweaked the dashboards that was sent to you. You know, they come sideways in your emails, and I have some here with all the color codes for hard copies if everyone wants. They're for 3 months. One is for cash on hand, and the other is monthly expenses. I think they're a lot more clearer, as you can see. And if you go through, compare each individual line item on the 3 months, you see that they don't vary too much. Sometimes income will spike a little bit and expenses might go up and down a little bit, but not by that much, and nothing that is unusual. So this is the format that she'll be using going forward. I think it's we all agree that it seemed to be a lot more clear, particularly through to that get into the hands of board members that are unfamiliar with reviewing financial statements or might not have a lot of experience with it. And she also then is going to continually look at these forms to perhaps change them even more a little bit. I think between the development funds and the other finance people, they have some other ideas that they might be bringing to us that even add more clarity. So we'll look to that in the future. But I can report that I'll wait for the others to give reports on the events and call in fundraising. I think we're in decent shape moving forward here, and that the next board will not have any major financial issues to deal with beyond the usual running, keeping the money coming in.
Okay, any questions of Dean on the report of the documents?
Yes.
I just have one thing to add. Talking to Mary Joy yesterday, one thing we may add for future months is the income and expense pie graphs. Rather than expressing them month by month, do a cumulative one that's year to date, that can show the trend across the year up to that date, rather than having separate snapshots for each month. And that way it'll give that current picture with the whole year in mind. I just said that was something I'd like to see added. So which is also a minor adjustment to it. So we might see that next month.
She mentioned that to me in an email, and I thought that was another improvement. So things like that. Now you can get all this stuff off the financial statement, compare a year to date with cumulative, but that's you gotta look through it and know where to look. This makes it so simple. It's right in front of you.
Right.
Any other questions or comments? Is your hand up, or is that Susan?
Susan.
I can't see Susan's, your hand up?
My hand is
Yes.
up.
Okay, yes,
Click that okay and get rid of that.
yes,
There you
Susan.
go.
I just wanted to say that I think that a really good intro. I would like to work with Mary Joy. We've just talked about it on having just an introduction to the board to financial statements to emphasize things like if you're looking at the actual against budget, you're really looking at a document that is very misleading, as opposed to when you look at actuals versus last year at the same time period. Because, for instance, if you look in the report for this month, it says that I'm significantly down in my direct mailings, but those haven't even happened this year yet. So you're seeing the amount for the whole year is showing up as negative. I'm negative like $100,000, and I'm like, I haven't sent out a mailing yet. So actual to budget can be very misleading, but actual to last year, because I hadn't sent out any direct mail at this point last year either, is not as misleading. So when you're trying to make some of the things we can explain, and I think that would be a good introduction. And if you guys feel like that's a waste of time for Mary and Joy and I to work on that, to have that as like an orientation for new people, just an introduction to the reports, that's fine.
Actually, Susan, board orientation is going to be a very important thing for the new board, because we're going to have we're going to have 2 new volunteer members. And I know Shali was talking about putting together some orientation materials, and I think, and I had some ideas on some things. So I think a meeting among several people, I think, yes, we accept your suggestion to put together to work with Mary Joy and put together some kind of financial, and Dean to put together some kind of financial literacy orientation
Yeah.
for the new board.
Finance
And
101.
some existing board members too, probably.
Well, that
Um,
would, yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think this should be expanded. We
Yeah,
should
the whole
consider,
board, yeah,
but
board.
before we authorize something like this, let's hold off on that till we know exactly what we're asking for. And I don't want Susan and Mary Jo to spend a lot of time on this now when I don't think we're ready for this. Let's get this more parsed out as to what we actually want them to do to it, and then get that either from them or Nick from our nonprofit for-profit guy, or
I
then we
just
can
want to
have-
suggest that after being here 10 years and after seeing this, what the board struggles with year after year, I think that I'm in a better position, and Doug and I and Mary Joy, as
The
far,
first time my name came up in this conversation.
I think that we're in a better position to know what our board tends to struggle with our reports than Nick from Numbers for Nonprofits or anyone else. And I'm not saying that Mary Joy and I do it alone. Doug obviously would be involved. His whole department is, a part of that. And I would love to have some input from current board members about stuff like, do you look at it? What are your questions about it? I think that's the people that really should be asked, are current board members that are having to read these things and draw some kind of conclusions from them. So this was not Mary Joy and I just going it alone. It's just we wanted to start out with some of the stuff that's in there that has really simple explanations, like don't compare to the budget compared to last year. That's going to be a lot more fruitful about deciding where we're situated and stuff. So I disagree about holding off. By the time it comes a time, it's like, okay, I might be in the middle of getting ready for fall. If we work on it a little bit at a time and we enlist other people, I think it's a good thing to do. That's all.
I think anything the staff can do to help us put together a good board orientation would be much appreciated. And
well,
is it Dave?
Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
Hi, there is a section of the Google shared drive for board orientation. So I recommend that we put it there. And I've been writing documents that I haven't shared yet in terms of how to deal with the whole Google Apps, Google Workspace for board members, and that will go in there as well. So I don't think we need to have one overarching document. I think that this is going to have multiple documents that will all be put together, or will all be put on that drive so people can use them. And as if they get outdated, we'll get rid of them and write new ones, but we don't have to have a single document.
Dave, that what you're doing sounds suspiciously close to something that Shali told me that she was going to work on too. So why don't you talk to Shali and make sure that the two of you aren't
Right.
doing the same thing?
Yep.
Thank you.
Duplicating our efforts. Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, I think board orientation has been a weakness in the past, and anything we can do to strengthen it is a good thing. And that's both for the new board members and existing and holdovers. So, I think we should welcome whatever documents staff and Dave and others can put together. Yeah, Doug.
Yeah, I just want to say, Susan, I'm happy to work on that with you, because I've been sitting in these meetings for the past 6 or 7 years. So I definitely have heard the questions raised by board members going all the way back. So I would love to work on that with you.
Yeah,
Right.
Especially if it can reduce the amount of time that Mary Joy spends on it, because her time is limited.
yeah.
And I hesitate to dump more work on Mary Joy.
Well, I don't disagree that this is needed. It's a huge need that we needed, but I'm not, and it could be part of a board orientation, but to me, I think this is a bigger board training issue as opposed to orientation. It's just a semantic thing, perhaps. It should be part of a standard board review of how to read a financial statement. It's a training. You come into a board knowing you have to set a budget, create a budget, and then review it monthly. But so many people come in that have no experience with that. So a board training in how to do this and understand these things is what I was more looking.
I think we're talking about the same thing.
I do.
So,
So
okay,
I think we should go ahead and do it. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
at all.
so we're gonna do it. Okay. Okay. I think that wraps it up. Moving on then to staff reports. Doug, anything you want to, going down in order here, anything you want to,
No, it's all there, except I got raffle tickets for McPike.
do we have, a number on Wart stock?
We still have not received the bill for the security. It's running about dead even right now.
What does that mean?
Dead even, income versus expense,
I thought, how could we not have made money?
because the expenses have gone up to nearly $30,000. And I can run down them with you
No,
if you like.
No, I don't
We
question. it.
thought our income might have been higher.
We thought that,
Our income also rose to $30,000,
Yeah.
which is 5,000 over last year.
Yeah.
Um,
$20 more. I put in 20 for a shirt yesterday.
Well, that's the thing. Well, buy a Word stock t-shirt because that will help the bottom line. We get rid of those shirts, we will make 2 or 3 grand.
So the effort, I think you suggested this in last month's report, is to try to get some more sponsorships. Or
Yes.
up the level of sponsorship.
And now that we have built to the audience to 3,500 like we did this year, now we have a marketable event that I can expand to more sponsors who are going to be willing to jump and sponsor an event that is established, not in a new space anymore, not 800 to 1,000 attendees, because we tripled the audience this year, which is going to make it much easier to get sponsors next year.
we got good photos of the large crowd.
Absolutely. In fact, Shali has one of her news reporters that put together an entire spread on the Wartstock site. And then I solicited more pictures from volunteers. So I have a whole wealth of really excellent photos for the sponsorship deck for next
Yeah.
year.
You got that one from me.
Anything
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
drone stuff?
The drone unfortunately took low res images that are pretty unusable outside of a cell phone.
Oh.
But I still have some ideas. We should talk.
Yeah,
Because for Instagram and cell phone driven things like that in TikTok, we may have some usable footage there. At least some quick zoom, speed up, but we'll talk.
yeah.
Are you, of a mind to let the mallards fly off?
That's a tough question. Like I said in my report, it would depend on several factors. It would have to be, and talking to George Dreckman this morning too, he said, as the season goes on, the stands get more full. Those boxes fill up. So if they offer me a weekend later in the season, I'll think about it.
Okay.
Because the other problem is I had trouble staffing the volunteers to work the raffle. I ended up having to use all Mad City Sisters. I had no WORT volunteers outside of Ralph. Nobody came to sell tickets. So, but it was also during a pledge drive, a week and a half after Wartstock and a week and a half before the McPike sessions, which we also had trouble staffing. You know, I pulled Sisters into work raffle on that because after 6 o'clock, we couldn't get a volunteer. So McPike too had some serious problems with it. I didn't expand too much on it on my report. Working with Bob this year, it proved extremely difficult. I felt like we were extremely shafted by the placement of our tent. They took down the main stage the night before, so we were not next to the main stage. We were at the opposite end of the park from the music that we were doing the live remote for.
No.
And that did not do anything for our ticket sales.
Ankur was saying that Bob was weird.
Bob also slammed us on social media because a volunteer host got the name of the event wrong.
Yeah.
And so he went on social media calling, WORT unprofessional. So, I mean, I have to say after that, I'd go back to the Mallards before I went back to Bob. That's where I'm at right now. I'm really upset with him.
I think there's.
So I have not, I mean, I'm really looking forward to Michigan because after the spring I had, I just need to get out of here for a while. Nothing's really been going very well for me, except underwriting.
Yeah.
I got brand new underwriters. So that's exciting.
Okay, well,
Work to do there.
keep us informed.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there are no questions, Doug, is Susan still with us? Any questions, Susan, anything that you want to
No,
call to?
the 1 week summer pledge drive started out slow. But we finished at about 91% of goal, and with the extra week of that we always have of online only, we went over our goal. Pretty happy with that. So
Great. What can you tell us anything at all or know about our two angels who have funded the Journalism Collaborative?
well, they're interested in meeting with Jade in another week or so to get some feedback from her about how it's going and stuff. They were already sent the syllabus that and handbook that Diego came up with, and we're happy with that. So I think that Shali had said and Jade had agreed that they were going to be the participants. We're going to be doing weekly, like, kind of notebook entries of journal entries of how the week had gone and what they thought maybe might be improved and what they were really happy with. And those were going to be shared with the two angels, as well as Jade's weekly take on how things were going and stuff.
Are these, I know you can't tell us anything about identities, but are these people who have given at this level before, or was this a new thing that
they had been giving it about 8,000 to 10,000 a year, but they really ramped it up with finding out about this program. They went to about 20,000 a year instead.
Wow. Well, let us know if there's anything I or the board can do to
Thank them.
thank them.
Yeah.
They're very unassuming people. They give to a lot of things, and I never see their name anywhere. Just from talking to them, they told me about some of their interest. A lot of it is with DEI and social justice, but they also give to other things. And I would not have known them had I not been in my position here. So they're very unassuming and don't want any like publicity or any kind of, anything. Basically, they just were like, if they're writing reports and saying stuff, if they're keeping journals, is it possible that we can see those too? And I was like, they don't want to add anything to the duties of the director of the program or the participants. They're just like, if this is happening, could we see them? So if all my contacts with people were that as easy as these guys are, they're like, how much do you need? Basically, that's pretty much what they said.
Susan has certainly expressed the board's appreciation and really heartfelt thank you for this kind of support. It's really fun to hear this type of people that are like this coming forward.
Yeah. Thank you, Susan. I think, is that it for staff that we have with us? I can't see that far. I think that's the case. So anybody have anything they want to raise out of the other remaining staff reports?
I've raised something in the chat that I found out subsequent to turning my report in that I submitted to Tanya. I don't know when it's time.
I've answered.
I can't.
This is about the new, I'll summarize this here. So there's been some conversation in the chat about the new overtime law. Susan says people who make under $43,888 a year must now receive overtime pay, time and a half, not comp time. We have two staff members who will be affected by this, Aaron and Adrian. It also has implications for our entry salary guidelines. And then Tanya, at 6:45 says, the new law also stipulates that staff who make less than 58,656 as of January 2025 will need to be paid overtime for time worked over 40 hours inside of 1 week.
What's the minimum number of employees on that requirement?
For the employer, you
It's,
mean?
it's across the board. This is new labor law for all employers.
Regardless of how big the business is?
Correct.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Oh my.
And we're not allowed to offer comp time instead?
That's what it says.
No,
Nope.
yeah, that's eliminating comp time.
Yeah.
So just a heads up for the budget next year, it will have, if you guys want to look through, because we have records going pretty far back. Doug and I often have overtime. Adrian often has overtime. I mean, there's some people that don't, but there's a bunch of us that have significant overtime.
This is why people who own businesses don't vote for Democrats. Just like point that out.
Well,
I just want to say that it has been 20 years since the overtime has changed. It used to be 32,000 and you could work people to the bone because they were salaried. I have no problem with recognizing the fact that 43,000 is reasonable for the number of hours people put in.
We're
It actually
liberals. We
changed in
support this stuff.
2016 with the Fair Labor Standards Act.
Sorry, was that,
Tanya, could you go again?
say it again?
It actually changed in 2016 with the Fair Labor Standards Act.
But before
but
that,
then
it had been like 20 years, right?
Right before that, it had been 20 years.
Yeah, but that was with a minimum of 20 employees, wasn't it? Like
I
a
don't know.
business had to have a certain number of employees before that law took effect.
I'd have
That
to
might
look
have
it
been.
up.
Because
Yeah,
we
but-
looked into this already
I
when
recall
it
this.
happened the
I
last,
recall this.
right,
This
it was
one-
when Sarah
this
Carroll
one-
was on the board.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one
Because Sarah
says,
Carroll made us think about it.
this one does not say, I called the labor, I
It's
called about this and
The
I
old
said.
one, the old one had this, the old
Right,
one.
I'm
had-
just
I'm not
saying-
talking
I'm
about
just
the
saying-
new one.
I know, I'm just saying we don't have that hope for the new one. We
Yeah.
have
No, we
very much
understand that.
clarified the fact that it applies to us.
Right, we got that. Okay, so that's something that finance is gonna need to look at very closely. Yes, Dean?
Do we in most businesses, they would either ask people to take overtime or authorize it in some form. So with this new standard, we might have to come up with a policy around how people, they can't just choose to do overtime on their own. We'd have to authorize it somehow.
Correct.
When is the effective date on this?
For the 43,888, it's July 1st. For the 58,656, it's January 1st, 2025. Aaron and Adrian are effective July 1st. Aaron and Adrian fall under this rule. The rest of us.
Not if the contract is signed as proposed.
What?
Explain that.
If the increases proposed by staff to the collective
Oh.
wages are implemented on July 1st, then Aaron and Adrian will be above that threshold. Because the whole reason to do that was to get them above the starting range that we were proposing for new employees. So both of them under the new contract would make over $44,000.
Well, I think we have some things to get clarified. And in the meantime, we have to decide if people cannot just take overtime according to, because they want to. That's what we have to discuss. And somehow we have to come up with an authorization procedure. So that we're gonna have to figure that out.
Is Doug, do you know, oh, do any of the three of you know if the contract is not signed by July 1st, but is retroactive to July 1st?
That would still affect the wage ultimately.
Yeah, when, so,
I mean, because it depends at the end of the year what the wage was, right? So if it's retroactive, any
Well-
back pay would be implemented,
Yeah.
and by the end of the year, it would be over 44,000.
but how do you compute on an ongoing basis whether there's something I'm not understanding.
Because there was the whole first half of the year where they were making less, but then there's
Right.
the second half of the year where they're making more. Plus, they both get a bonus at the end of the year, which
The
will tip
bonus
the
doesn't
scale.
count.
What do you mean?
Bonuses don't count towards total wages. They're separate
Really?
for this law.
So is the computation retroactive that at the end of the year you determine whether or not someone has
That
the
is not
full
what
pay?
I was told. I was
No.
told that you have to pay the overtime effective. If Adrian works overtime, for instance, in July, you can't say she's going to make this so much by the end of the year, so we're not paying her the overtime now. That's not how.
Yeah, it's based on the salary that they're earning as they're earning it.
But if, okay, so
Okay.
wait, but if on July 1st, the new contract goes into effect that has them both at $44,000, but they will not, and that is their new salary, but they will
Yep.
not have made $44,000 in calendar year 2024. Are they covered or not?
Covered.
They're covered.
Mhm.
They'll be
Uh,
fine. If
that
they're
was a bad-
making
that was a
40,
bad- Wait, let me rephrase the question because I wasn't precise in my language. Can they take comp time or not?
No,
Why not? If their salary is 44,000,
the new rules also get rid of comp time.
I thought. you could
Unless
do
we
comp
set it
time
up
if
as a
you were
separate
over
policy.
44,000.
Until July.
There's no
1st.
comp time at all?
Unless it's already set up as a separate policy.
Then what has this threshold got to do with anything?
And it's in the bargaining contract as
Yeah,
a
it's-
policy.
So it's already set up as a policy. That's great.
Well,
There are other people and other organizations who, even though they meet this new salary requirement, they don't allow a comp time assignment for hours worked over 40 in a week. And that's the prerogative of the organization. It's not automatic. It's something that each organization decides.
Okay, wait a minute. I got lost here. If someone is making $50,000 a year,
Yep.
do they take comp time?
If that's something that the organization allows, yes.
Okay.
But it's
so-
not an automatic right.
Okay, but if someone is making $40,000 a year, they cannot take comp time. Am I correct?
Correct. They would have to be paid overtime wages.
Okay, so when is the calculation? So if they are making $44,000 as of July 1, do they take comp time or do they get paid overtime for the next 6 months?
They can have comp time if that's a policy that's in place. Yes.
Okay,
I just want to ask you, Stu, when you're saying that, you're clarifying that is a straight salary. We're not counting benefits. We're not counting what happens at the end of the year with bonus, because that's where things get
Right.
confusing. The
Well,
straight salary has to be 44,000. So yes, if they're making 44,000 on July 1st, they can take comp time and they don't have to be paid overtime.
Right.
Okay. And if the contract is not signed until July 10th, but is retroactive to July 1st, and they have not taken any overtime or worked any additional hours in those 10 days. Are
No
they
harm,
good?
no foul.
Okay.
Then it
okay,
should
I
be
think-
fine. Yep.
No one's expected to. There's no outreach events over that period. And I have no reason to work overtime over that period either. In fact, there's a holiday.
Woohoo.
Okay.
So
Okay.
has the common practice been comp time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody's ever been paid overtime.
No.
Is
Okay.
that, do we have that as a policy?
It's in the contract
In the
and we're allowed
contract.
to bank it up to
Well, I
6
think we're
months.
covered then. Stu.
No, we're not covered until we raise.
People's wages.
We need to either raise wages. Try and say raise wages for
Raise wages.
Raise wages. Okay.
Thank you, Bob. Well, we have to increase their pay or come up with a policy on on how overtime is authorized, which we do not.
Yeah.
Is there such a policy at this point?
No, it's all
Right.
comp.
No, because there's no overtime.
There's no overtime.
it's all
Yeah.
comp- Right.
Okay.
But
Well,
so the
um,
big deal comes in January.
Right.
I'm
And
sorry, say again?
The big deal comes in January when salaried non-exempt or salaried exempt staff have to be making $58,656 or more in order to
that-
not have to
That's
be
not
paid
gonna happen.
overtime.
only one of us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But
And
then
there
if
would
we
be
have
no
a-
comp time allowed for people
not
who make
even
under
if
that.
it's, even if we.
Right. So
in our
if we have an
contract
event
that
where
would
we have to
negate it.
work 16 hours, we have to take 2 days off that day. Or that week.
Well, what
Yeah.
you said, in January,
No, you have
there's
to get paid
comp
overtime.
time, comp time is completely outlawed then? Even if you already have.
Or
it?
not.
Don't work 2 days
Right,
that
right,
week.
right.
No, if you make, Dean, it's if you make less than 58,656 in straight salary, then you have to be paid overtime.
If you
can't
work more than
have
40
comp
hours, you
time.
get paid.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's based on
If-
40
40
hours a
hours.
week. It's not based
Not
on how many
annual.
hours in a day. You can work 16 hours in a day. That's fine. The whole thing is calculated on 40 hours a week, right, Tanya?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 40
Um,
worked hours, not time, not paid
Right.
time off or holiday hours.
Right. Actual worked hours.
Yep.
Is this most likely to,
What about holiday?
That's probably.
Doesn't count toward work time.
Yeah, so.
is
Well,
this most likely
frankly-
going to affect you and Adrian and Aaron?
Me. Anyone who's running pledge drives runs into this because you're here pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna need to,
figure
we're
something
gonna
out.
need to have our best people put their minds on this, because I don't know if I suspect a one size fits all policy is not gonna work, that there's gonna need to be a lot more.
Nuance.
And for
Huh?
instance, Tom's is going to have to be really flexible. Sometimes he's here and there
Right.
is no other solution. It's not like someone else can do it.
Right.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
well,
Right.
If it's a Friday night and he already has a full week of working and something blows up, he's
Yeah.
gonna have to come in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, this is something that this'll give finance committee and the staff a new challenge in coming up with a budget.
And probably some implications for the collective bargaining agreement when it comes to entry pay, taking this into consideration and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're under
okay.
that.
Well, thank you for
All right.
bringing this to our attention, because this is something that we're gonna need to get ready for, so thank you. So everybody clear on that? And,
Mhm.
okay. Moving on then to Sybil's report. Anybody have any comments or questions about that? I thought,
Just, oh my goodness,
what?
just all the new hosts that
Oh,
she's
yeah,
had to
yeah.
find, like, wow, what a shakeup,
Yeah.
especially on Tuesdays.
Yeah. I thought I had to,
Going well though.
I had to leave the sessions to go down and see somebody at the Cafe Carp, and to be driving down and listen to Joel Patterson, and that was totally great.
Mhm.
That was just outstanding.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
So yeah, but she's got a lot on her plate. Anybody have any questions or comments about that, about her report?
Well, I do think that Tom has in his report that we're going to be going, Combo B is going to be having the new changeover to the new board on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Sybil has reassured us in the staff meeting that it will have all of the people that are going to be, that need in the music department that will be on this weekend will be trained before that happens.
Okay, good.
Because she really has a huge number of people to train compared to Shali, the people that need to learn the board. But we were reassured that the phone is the major thing that is different about this new board, integrating the phone into it. So she said it shouldn't be too hard.
Okay, great.
She's got lots of people lined up in these next couple of days to train.
Thank you. Moving on then to Shaw's report, and this Summer News Collaborative keeps knocking me out. I mean, the downstairs space looks great. What a good thing this is. This is, I mean, congratulations to Susan and Shali and Carol and everyone and our anonymous benefactors and everyone who had anything to do with this. This is great. This is a good thing. And you all saw the sad news that Frank Emspak passed away.
Can we send flowers or something?
I will.
His wife has already said that she wants anyone that wants to contribute anything to just give it to WORT. She doesn't want flowers. She doesn't want people visiting her. She doesn't want. It was pretty overwhelming. That hospital room was full of people pretty much all day long for 2 weeks, full to the brim with people who really wanted to talk to Frank and say how much he meant to them. So she has actually sent us something that said she's really going to be out of contact with people for at least a week or so, where I think she just needs to recover from trying to deal with Frank dying and trying to control the many people who were coming in the room and expecting, some kind of welcome and stuff. So, but she did say that the obituary will say that anyone who wants to contribute anything is welcome to donate to WORT and Labor Radio.
And Labor Radio is going to do a thing on Friday. They're going to, I think, rebroadcast a bit of his appearance on Book Beat, and we're going to re-air both episodes that he did, and so they'll do a nice thing.
It's a nice shout out. It's good.
Yeah. So, and as my people say, his memory will be for a blessing. And good luck to Shali and her team for surviving Milwaukee during the convention.
Really.
I don't know if they've found lodging, but that's going to be a generally horrible experience. So good luck on that. And I just lost my drive.
You were at Shali in the news.
Yeah. No, I just no, somehow I lost my agenda, so I got reopened the agenda. So what's next on the agenda while I'm opening it up?
News Talk Public Affairs.
Well, we just did that. Who's what's after Shali? Anybody?
Volunteer Outreach and then
Okay.
Digital Production Director.
Okay. Anybody got anything? Well, I'm still reopening this. Anybody got anything on Adrian or Aaron's report? Doug, are you concerned about an ongoing problem having people power to do your events?
No, it was just bad timing.
Okay.
It was volunteer fatigue. We just learned we can't pile that much stuff on top of each other.
Okay. Anybody got anything else on either Shali or Aaron's report?
No.
Okay. Then the motion to accept those staff reports.
So moved.
Okay. Somebody second?
Seconded.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay.
Were you the second, Tanya?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and then we've got the engineering committee report, most of us can't understand, but oh, I see the CFC is being revamped, or we're getting rid of the 3DRX. Well, it's about time.
Okay.
And there's Captain
Damn.
John Sparrow. I didn't know he was on one of our committees, so that's kind of cool.
I keep losing my things.
John.
Just
Was that his
autofill
name,
motion
John, or-
passes
John
ambiguously.
Miner, he's the engineer on
Yeah.
Tuesdays. at 8 o'clock Buzz.
The 3DRX is no longer manufactured. Ours started to go flaky, so we had to buy one off of eBay. But when we get the conversion on Combo B and then the conversion in, the CFC is cluster F central, and that's F asterisk CK.
Nerd.
No, it's thank you for that, Dave. Do you have anything to add about the
board change.
the air conditioning situation? Are you on top of that?
Yeah, I'm working with Tom on that.
Okay, yeah, I think you got any thoughts on new refurbished or whatever?
New, the Fujitsu is the old one. It's about 35, not 30 or 25 or 30 years old. and useful life on air conditioners is about 20, so it's about time. And it uses Freon, which is illegal to make now. And so you can only get Freon by taking it from air conditioners that are being taken out of service. So
Right.
the global supply of Freon is getting smaller and smaller as there are fewer and fewer left in service. So that means availability is less and price is much higher.
Mhm.
You got a guesstimate on what that's gonna cost us?
For the Freon or for the new machine?
The new machine,
30 grand maybe,
okay.
tops.
We did not have this in the budget, did we?
No, of
No.
course not.
No.
And when do we need to spend it by?
We have put new Freon in the Fujitsu, so it's running now. That's what's keeping us on the air. The other one is just not working at all. So the other one, Tom's going to talk to the salesperson tomorrow, and they're going to figure out whether it makes sense to replace the compressor a third time or just buy a new system. And even though the staff has put the replacement for the Fujitsu into the wish list, the problem is that when they both fail at the same time, it puts us in danger. And they both failed on last Friday, and so Tom and I worked feverishly on Friday to get us back on the air. Well, we weren't off the air, but to get us back into air conditioning, and because we knew that Sunday and Monday and today were coming soon, so we wanted to make sure that we had some air conditioning before that happened. So, but to only have one and be kind of limping on one
Mhm.
is not a good
So-
situation.
So what do you think we need to do by when?
We have to make a decision on the one that Tom is going to talk to the salesperson about tomorrow soon. And then about the Fujitsu within like 3 months or something, but
Okay, now, and this would be a new carrier?
I don't know.
Is that the first decision? Is that
Yes,
the decision he's made soon whether or not to fix the compressor or get a new? And are the carrier and the Fujitsu equivalent, or what's the
Yes.
relationship? Okay. If we get a new carrier, does the importance of dealing with the Fujitsu start to fade a little if we got a brand new carrier?
we thought that the last time, and we've had the compressor fail 2 times. So having 2 is really necessary.
If the Fujitsu, so you think ultimately going to need to replace them both with 2 new
Yes.
units?
Yes,
So we're looking at $50,000-$60,000?
I don't know yet how much those are going to cost. So
Ballpark? Am I in the right ballpark?
on the very high end, that's maximum.
Okay. Susan? Thank you. Susan?
I just want to say, how frequently are we adding Freon to the Fujitsu? Is it coming more and more frequently, which would indicate something? My impression in talking to Tom was that he thought we could get through the year with the Fujitsu as a backup without a problem.
We have to replace the Freon about every 3 years. So it's a
Right.
fairly slow leak.
And he wasn't that concerned about it being something that had to be addressed this year if there were other concerns.
He and I
Okay.
disagree about that, but yeah,
I personally, I feel like if we're replacing it every 3 years, we're not in an emergency situation. I am concerned that I was around to fundraise for the system, not the Fujitsu. I'm just going to call them 1 and 2. Fujitsu is 2, the backup. But we replaced 1. It's been 3 compressors before we paid for a complete new system at that thing in either 2016 or 2017. I don't remember what year. And the fact that we went with a compressor that just is completely incapable of servicing that unit has really let us down. I think we need to get a new system there. Tom isn't sure what it's going to cost. It could be, it depends on what they find tomorrow. Replacing the compressor with a much bigger unit would be one alternative, but there's other things. But I disagree. I just want to be clear that after talking to Tom, I really feel like this is not the year to replace both units. That the Fujitsu, as long as we keep do some, and maybe there's better monitoring that's possible about the Freon levels. And that we do a monthly, someone goes out there monthly and checks us if there's a way to do that. But I'm not in favor of tying up money that way when there's a possibility that we might need a new roof, for instance, a lot sooner than we need a backup air conditioning unit at the transmitter. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Something for us to do. One thing is another. Okay, any of the other committees have anything to say? Policies and bylaws. Jay is doing a great job keeping us on track, and we're making great progress. And we will absolutely have this done by the end of this year. Jay, you got anything you want to add about about our work on the volunteer handbook?
No, I'm all good. I'm happy with the progress that we're making, and yeah, we're chugging through it, doing good.
And now, yeah, so we'll keep you advised, but we're making progress. Anything, any of the other committees have anything to report? I'm going to say some things about collective bargaining from the Personnel Committee in closed session. Elections Committee have anything to? Again, Doug, nice job on the whole election thing.
Thanks. I've been doing it for so long now. It's just like I just pick up last year's and change the text to this year.
And we got a reminder email today.
Yep, that I sent out this morning.
Do you recall off the top of your head how many votes we had last time, roughly?
I want to say it was in the 40s or 50s,
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay. Okay.
As of today, 22 people have voted.
Okay. Okay.
A lot of people wait for the annual meeting because they want to meet the candidates.
Stop and think for a second what the organization of the board of directors means, what it says about us as an organization. We have a board that is a majority of volunteers, and for which only the volunteers can vote and staff. But when you think about what that says about us and the relationship that we have with the WORT community, that it's just remarkable how the people who, I don't know, Dave, if you were around, if Dave is still with us, Dave, if you were around when that concept was struck, to have a majority of the board be volunteers and only volunteers vote for the board. I mean, that's sometimes it can impede trying to recruit particular skill sets that you're looking for on a board. And a lot of boards that I've been on,
sponsors can vote, can't they?
I'm sorry?
Can't listener sponsors vote, or is it?
No.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Only if
Yeah.
they're board members.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listener sponsor
right.
board members can vote.
Yeah. But
That's right.
so you can vote for yourself.
I know I have one vote in this.
But I just think it's a really important thing to remember about our identity of it says a lot about us.
That was created when we started in 1975 because I was concerned that there were a lot of religious groups who wanted FM frequencies, and I was concerned. Well, we were all concerned that they could get a bunch of people to flood the elections, and then such a board could vote to give the license away to a religious group. So
no,
now
that's
paranoia, but anyway.
No,
No, honestly, I saw similar things happen in nonprofit theater here in town, where people said, oh, you can vote if you just bring $40 to the meeting. And then there was a coup, and the entire board of that theater company got voted out, and a new board got brought in, and everything changed.
Yeah,
And
I would agree.
you were one of those new board members, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah. So
I was.
we'll hesitate to say the name of the company,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it is a real threat
No,
at times.
this is the point I'm making, that
Yeah.
we.
And that ousted president is a host of a show at this station right now. So
It's a very incestuous artistic.
it was crazy. It was,
Anyway, I just wanted to say that in context of the elections committee. The mural project is on hiatus, but I do think, and Susan, if you're still here, I mean, am I right in thinking that we are in good shape to jump on this early in 2025 and really make this happen next year?
I am still concerned about the fundraising and where you think I do not have any faith that people that are not professional fundraisers are going to raise significant amounts of money outside of people they directly know.
Okay.
So my question is going to be, are we going to be going after funding to make sure the Journalism Collaborative continues next year? So is, Carol and I going to be spending time looking for grants for that program again and stuff? Where is the fundraising going to come from? This year I was told I wouldn't be doing anything, having anything to do, wouldn't need to have me involved at all. And I kind of was thinking that was not going to probably work, and that was borne out.
Okay. At least we know more going into it than we did previously.
I think we know a lot more. And I think I'm going to have to be involved, at least to some extent, as far as talking about what would work with trying to recruit people and stuff. And I think that Doug probably is also going to have to be involved, because I think, this is going to be, I don't see this as being so much something that individual donors would be as interested in as they would be in promoting other things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
By the way, we have heard back. We got one company asking for their money to be returned, which we have done. And we got Joe Alexander and somebody else who I haven't gotten a letter from yet, from Mary Jo, saying, just sit on the money. We're good with, you using it when you need it.
Okay.
So I thought that was going to be how most of them would react. The other person, it really had to do with them having a certain amount of money they give to philanthropy every year.
Sure.
And if we weren't going to use the money this year, they were going to give it to somebody else.
Okay.
Still indicating that we're first on their list for next year. So I'm not bothered by that.
Yes, Phil.
I just wanted to say that I did send out letters to the artists informing them that we're not able to go ahead this year or in the immediate future. And there have been a few responses, and those were understanding. Basically,
Okay.
thanks for the opportunity, and if it changes, let us know.
Bill, are you going to want to pick up this mantle to some extent next year and see what we can do?
Not as chair, no. I still firmly believe that there needs to be someone in Madison to really take leadership of this.
But Phil, I think you'd be great at grant writing on this. I'd love to partner with you on some of that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. The main concern to date has just been that the few funding sources grants that I did look at want a much more clarified plan in order to move forward than we have been able to put together. They want an artist who's identified. They want an idea of what the art will look like, things of that nature. And
Okay.
until we have an artist, that's really not possible.
Thank you. Dean.
Yeah, to answer your original question, are we ready in 2025? I think there's only two ways we can answer that with a yes, is that we spend time now trying to locate and recruit a champion that'll take up the work that's almost like a project manager to take the lead on this and move it forward. Otherwise, and then there's several ways to do that. Or I don't know if we want to lay this off on Susan and Doug. That's something that we want to avoid as much as we can. And if they are used, use a minimally. So either that, then by sometime September, October, November, the board either has to take this on full blown as a board project, and then we take up the mantle, or find a champion that can act. And either one of those, I think, if we get that, we can say yes to your question.
I know it's not an immediate issue, but it's something that you're right. Come fall, we need to.
We gotta have it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Anybody, anything else on that? Okay, seeing none. Nothing to report on the retreat. I think we got to get through we got to finish the collective bargaining, which I think we'll do in a relatively timely manner. We got to get through the annual meeting, and then Doug, maybe you think it's time to start talking with the new board about a retreat?
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
do you want to do that at the beginning of the new board term, or sometime a couple months in? What's the sense?
Oh, maybe let them get their feet wet first, have a couple of months in
Okay.
committee work,
Okay.
just getting adjusted to, the board in general,
Well,
maybe. Because I hate to have people come in and not feel like they can contribute to the conversation of a retreat until they have a little bit of experience doing the work,
So maybe we'll start talking about something to take place come November-ish, or early
yeah, by
25.
then, no, I think it's
somewhere in there. No, I think this year, I agree with
Okay,
Dean.
let's look at something November-ish.
and we can have some training, like I think the
Well,
first.
We also
the
have an
whole
early,
orientation thing's a whole nother.
we also have an
we can
early
finance
pledge
it
drive in the
right away.
fall this year because of the timing. So like October, November are a little bit
Okay.
freer. Just because of the early pledge drive,
Okay,
because that's going to allow me to push bowling a little earlier,
okay.
and move it away from the birthday party a little bit. So
Sometime late fall.
yeah, I mean, and those are one-offs.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Somebody see, Tanya.
Hey, I think that planning a retreat for sometime in November may not be the best idea, just because that's the descent into the holidays. So maybe if we aim for October, that would be a better thing.
Okay. Well,
I've got my hand up. I'm going to second Tanya. November is a shit month for me. It is the time where I have to get all kinds of things organized for the end of the year. October would be much better.
yeah, and works for me too.
okay, so we'll
Yeah, October may be the best because that's a good couple 3 months
okay.
of meetings and stuff for new board members.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
Okay. Okay, so we'll try and make that happen. Any other business before we go into closed session for short discussion? Before we do, I want to acknowledge that this is Rebecca's last board meeting. And Rebecca, thank you very much for your service on the board all these years. We really appreciate it. And of course, thank you so much for all the great music you continue to program and what that show represents. Floor is open to you if you got anything you'd like to say.
Thank you. I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be there every Saturday night, and it's just kind of a formality that I won't be on the next board. It was just because of so many things happening on the outside of WRT. So I'll just watch for openings and come next year sometime if anything has to be filled, et cetera, but I won't be far. And I'm here for advice, and I'm here for experience, and I'm here for all of that. So whatever you need, I'm here.
Would you be interested in participating in this group we've got to plan our technological and strategic ideas on
Task force.
the task force on coming up with a way to address the future. Would you be interested in being involved in that?
Yeah, potentially, because I do think I have a few things I can share. So I would be interested in watching more progress on that and seeing what that looks like.
We will keep you informed about that, and as we're putting it together, and hope you can participate in that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sweet. And I'm also going to be contacting you about a possible DJ spin event. Working with a local skateboard company to promote skateboarding to youth. And we're thinking about doing some DJ spins like late in August.
Mm.
And I thought like having some hip hop in the mix would be really fantastic.
Actually, artist that is a skateboarder that does music, and he skated with Tony Hawk. So
Sweet.
definitely, yes, we will get together.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send you the info I have because Andrew's been asking me about it. So I think it's a really great way for us to do some outreach with youth and really get the word out about WORT through some of our more attractive shows to the young.
Yes, definitely keep me on board with that.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I absolutely will.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. Susan?
I just want to say a big thank you, Rebecca. I'm really, I don't know if many of the board members, people listen to the show, but I am so grateful for the work that you've done with keeping prison inmates and keeping people in touch in the past with shout outs. And now during the Pledge Drive show, I listened to you talk about Waupun and what was happening there, and how people have kept you advised, prisoners have sent information and stuff, inmates. I just want to let you know that that's one of the things I value, is that you definitely have a real reach out to part of our community that very few other WORT shows touch, and that you're very respected for you doing that. And I really respect your work in that area and want to thank you for that. Very appreciative of people, a lot of people from they know you. They know you, and they maybe know Soul Sessions.
Right.
And that's it. Those are
the
two shows that they listen to, and both shows I just feel are excellent at connecting people because the hosts are interested in making those kind of connections. So very appreciative, and I hope that not being on the board doesn't mean that you lose interest in possibly being on some committees that I think would be honored and lucky to have you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you again, Rebecca. With that, I think I want a motion to go into closed session to discuss some collective bargaining aspects.
So moved.
Need a second.
Second.
It's a roll call vote. Dean,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Tanya,
Yes.
Hey,
Yep.
Bill,
Yes.
and Rebecca.
Yes.
Okay.
You got to ask me too.
Oh, Doug.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to shut this internal.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Turn off the recording.
Turn off the recording.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dave, I think,
I have to go, yes.
yeah.
So should I stop the recording?
Oh, we need to
Yes.
switch hosts.
Yeah,
First.
hold on,
Sure.
before you do that, I'll stop the recording, okay?
Okay.
Try it again.